Cheez-Its. A box of Cheez-Its. How would you break terrifying news to a 7-year-old girl? Do you rip off the Band-Aid? Do you soak off the Band-Aid, beat around the bush? Or do you use the hand in the Cheez-It box method? Now I bet you're wondering what the hand in the Cheez-It box method is. Well, that's the one my dad decided to go with when telling me some horrifying news. It was 2nd grade. I hopped off the bus, threw down my backpack, and went straight to the kitchen for my after-school snack. And there was my dad, up against the wall, hand inside a Cheez-It box, chowing down as if it were a normal Tuesday. And he looks up at me and he says, "Hey, Nat, Mom's in the hospital." And I said, "You're lying. Like, I might be 7, but I'm not stupid. I can tell when you're trying to pull one on me." And he said, "Now, why would I lie about something like that?" And I think that's when I knew something was really wrong. My dad, he's awesome. He's my best friend. He's so funny, but he is brutally honest. In fact, whenever I had any emotional trauma going on, my mom was the one I talked to because my dad just had the honest truth, and sometimes a 13-year-old girl doesn't want the honest truth. So it wasn't odd for him to tell me something so important in such a blunt manner, and that's why I knew something was really wrong. Through the experience I shared with my family, and especially my mom, as her health condition dwindled daily and as we prepared to say goodbye, I was able to strengthen certain values within me and learn to cherish and appreciate even the smallest moments in life, even the ones that seem insignificant. By telling this story today, I hope to show you how I was able to strengthen these values and how I'm able to find something positive in all these traumatic events and what seems so negative. But it wasn't easy, and little did I know that day in the kitchen was just the beginning of a really, really long and scary journey. When my mom was diagnosed with endocarditis, she talked about how she valued the little small moments in life, and that eventually changed how I valued them. She liked to talk about her family memories a lot, specifically Sunday mornings. She said that she missed waking up to the smell of bacon and coffee, and she missed coming down the stairs and seeing all of our smiling faces. And this was kind of puzzling to me because I thought Sunday mornings are so guaranteed. You wake up on a Sunday morning, right? You wait another week, there's another Sunday morning. It was something that I took for granted, sort of. And my mom looked at it very differently. She remembered each one specifically and could talk about them like they were the most amazing things in the world. And she spoke the same way about the beach. If there's anything you should know about my mom, her favorite place in the entire world is the beach. It doesn't matter what country, what state, whatever. There's sand, water, palm trees, she's good. And she talked about the beach in a really interesting way. She could remember each conversation she had with her family on the beach, each moment, and every part of our beach trips was so important and so lasting to her. Specifically, she would talk about the palm trees. She would talk about them as if they were the most beautiful creation on all of earth. She remembered very specific details about a palm tree on a certain beach we went to or how it sounded in the wind, and she could talk about it for hours and hours and hours. And so it kind of inspired me, and that's when I decided I wanted to do something special for my mom. I decided I wanted to decorate her hospital room to look like a beach so that she could see the beach one last time. And then this is the part of the story where I have no idea how I did this, but I somehow convinced my stubborn dad to buy a $26 8-foot inflatable palm tree. I don't know how I did this to this day, and honestly, props to 7-year-old me because that seems impossible. But we did. We bought the palm tree and we lugged it up the 9 floors of the hospital into our hospital room, and we decorated it to look like a beach. The way my mom reacted to this small gesture that I barely thought about twice is how I changed all my values. She acted as if I had gifted her the entire world that day. She was in tears, and she knew that that was going to be one of the most important and most valuable moments of her life. And that's when I really started thinking, how many small moments of my life am I just going by just because I'm taking them for granted? And that's when I started to change everything about my life. And it was her reaction to the small gesture and her miraculous recovery that led me to change everything about my life. From that moment on, I didn't take any small moment for granted. Everything was a little bit more meaningful than it ever was before. So my mom wasn't supposed to recover, but she did, and she's happy, healthy, and she's turning 57 next week, so go Mama Schneider. But basically the doctors decided they were going to do this emergency open heart surgery, and they did this process called xenotransplantation. They took a really vital valve in her heart and replaced it with one from a cow. And sometimes she's sitting in the living room and she'll just go, moo, and we're all like, "You okay?" And she's like, "I'm part cow." And we don't know why she says it. She thinks she's funny, but we just let her do it because at this point we're just happy that she's here. But that being said, I don't take any moment with my family or my mom for granted ever. We try to FaceTime every single day. We text every couple minutes, and I don't take any of those conversations for granted. And whenever we have visits, like she comes here or I go out there, they're very special and very important. But the experience that I had with my mom didn't only change my family life. I also look at small moments with my friends in a very different way than they do. I take away meaningful parts of conversations and small moments that maybe don't seem like much to them stick with me a lot longer. And I'm also able to appreciate my circumstances a little more and look at every day as if it's a gift, because it sounds corny, but we really don't know what's happening tomorrow. And although I hold all of this really close to my heart, it came to me in the saddest and scariest part of my life. My mom's the strongest person I know, and she always will be. Through the pain of watching her sit in the hospital room day after day for what felt like years of my life, to the patience of her post-surgery recovery, she taught me what it meant to be resilient. But most importantly, as she talked about Sunday mornings and the beach and the beautiful palm trees, she taught me how to value the small things in life. And that's really humbled me throughout my adolescence and my early adulthood. It's changed a lot about my life, and I'm able to have a more enriching life from it. And I know it kind of sounds weird, but I sometimes wonder where that Cheez-It box my dad was holding is, or where that palm tree I bought is. I wonder if they're just completely decomposed somewhere. Like, they seem like such random items, and I don't know why I care, but they played such pivotal parts in my life, and I credit both of them with teaching me what really mattered to me. So I will always have the palm tree, or at least the idea behind it, right here with me. Plus, I thought it would be a little weird to get a Cheez-It box tattooed on my body forever. Thank you.